What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Bad Religion. And again, shout out to Paulie, because we're going to keep going through Into the Unknown, an album that I've been aware of for a long time. I heard one track from many years ago, but I have been ignorant of sonically for all these years. So the next tune on the album, because again, I started with Time and Disregard, because that was the one I had remembered hearing before. We went back to the beginning of the album, It's Only Over When, ellipsis, and then now we're going to listen to Chasing the Wild Goose. I like the phrase, although I'm curious, what figurative understanding, what metaphor does it play? Obviously, if you were to chase a wild goose, it would be erratic, it would likely not be an easy pursuit, and it remains to be seen what the essence of the pursuit is, like why you're chasing a wild goose to begin with, so I'm curious how this will play out lyrically, and again, first time listening, I may not catch everything, or I may not appreciate the nuance or the metaphor, so we'll catch what we can. This is Bad Religion from their, is it 1983? I think it's 1983 album Into the Unknown, since disowned by the band and the label Epitaph, but the track is called Chasing the Wild Goose. Seems to take a dark turn. I don't hate this. I gotta say, it's not the Bad Religion I know, but I knew that going into it, if that makes sense. And yeah, I'm enjoying this style. Or it doesn't surprise me that they wanted to try something different. Maybe it was, as it seems, primarily a Graffin impulse to like, hey, let's do something different, and maybe it wasn't well received, and it's something they quickly put behind them, but it's cool to hear a band I've known for so many years playing something so different from what I've known them for. So I imagine that will continue to be the case as I go through this album, even if it doesn't ultimately, take a seat comfortably in, my favorite Bad Religion albums. But yeah, really cool tune in the sense that it sounded like there were some different vignettes It sounded like maybe 2 or 3 different stories, because there's a guy who's like banging his head on the wall for 20 years and the wall doesn't fall, so he gets up and he leaves it all behind. And then there was like one in the middle, which in the moment I'm forgetting what I heard in that one. And then there was a third one, this like woman got a guy cold as ice, and eventually it sounded like, she took off her dress and committed suicide, without a mess. So yeah, I don't know, it seemed like that one took a dark turn. I'm not sure the essence of some of the lines. But again, I'll keep going through. Make no mistake, at some point, I will listen to this enough times to ingrain the lyrics. But yeah, ultimately, I'm enjoying hearing Bad Religion with keyboards. It is, again, a different sound, but, with Graffin's voice there, it's still unmistakably Bad Religion. There's still some guitar work at the beginning. I was going to say the beginning was almost like it was thawing out. Like, it felt like it was a bit cagey, like a bit, like it was waiting to break out. And then when the keyboards rolled in and the, percussion started to hit harder, it felt like the tune finally, thawed out and was ready to rock. So I enjoyed the way they played the opening. So yeah, like I said, it's different. It's not, vintage 80s melodic hardcore Bad Religion, which I guess would be like the later 80s Bad Religion. Early 80s is like raw, like smoky hardcore Bad Religion. But yeah, I guess, this is in a way like a little bit of a bridge between the two, though fair to say they did Back to the Known, then they split up for a couple years while Greg, I think, went off to school, and Brett was focusing on Epitaph. But yeah, then they got back together for Suffer, and the rest, as they say, is history. But this is a cool chapter that I've always known about, and it's nice to actually get some detail on. So once again, shout out to Paulie. The next tune is Billy Gnosis. Looking forward to that. Billy's a name they've used for other songs. It's interesting, when I reacted to the song Billy, which I think is one of their best, I really do enjoy that song, and some of the lyrics that I think are poetically like beautiful and tragic. And I remember when I was talking about that song, I was wondering if this is someone they knew, and someone pointed out, well, Brett has had a lot of, drug issues back in the day. I think he's been sober for many years now. And I did know that, but it didn't occur to me that like Billy could be about Gurewitz himself. So yeah, I'm not sure, if that's like official that Mr. Brett was the person behind the song Billy. But yeah, ultimately, that's not too far ahead of this. That's Against the Grain, which I believe is 90. So I do wonder, if Billy Gnosis might have any relationship to their other song Billy, but I guess we'll find out. Once again, shout out to Paulie. Let me know what you think. I'll see you next time. Peace.